Jeff Gordon is the GOAT. That flame car would have won that race. No, probably not really. Who cares? Arsenal won today. I am happy. No one talked to me on Thursday. I will not be uploading. No one talked to me. Gonna be the worst day of my life. Shout out to all the Patreon members for always supporting the channel. You guys are the absolute best. Shout out to everyone who subscribes, watches, and such. And to you guys who leave a thanks now. We don't gotta talk about that, right? I don't gotta be like, leave a like on the video, leave a thanks on the. We're not gonna be doing that. If you want to, awesome. If not, it's okay. We gotta talk about NASCAR today. I was gonna do a dual race review, but to be honest, the Formula 1 race, which was 30 minutes away from my house, I'm very glad I didn't go, actually, because the people that went there just, I'm sorry. It felt like a clout chasing event. Like, if you went to that race, like, I gotta post my Instagram stories, and I gotta showcase that I'm rich enough to be here, haha. It just didn't feel right. And you know, shout out to a lot of you, to some of you guys that reached out to me, whether it be social media, and offered to like, you know, give me access to go, because I was, you know, I wanted to go to that event, but actually at the end of the day, I was actually pretty happy I didn't go. And the race in general was not very good. The race was pretty poor. F1 has these races where sometimes it is, you know, kind of boring. It happens. Safety car happened later on in the race, but overall it was more about the spectacle. It was more about Miami. It was more about, you know, getting eyes on there, getting the new viewer in America, which I think the ratings will be incredibly high. And I think for the casual viewer or new viewer, that they would have really enjoyed it, I think. But, you know, for us that watch every week, it wasn't special, because I've been saying this, and they tried to do this, to be fair. You should have done the race in downtown Miami, in Biscayne, around the FTX arena, have the hairpin on the bridge, where the ocean is too. That's and literally be half a mile away from South Beach. That's where the race should have been. They tried it, and the city denied it, and then so they took it to a car park. And ever since they did that, my hype for that event just kind of went down a little bit, and I think some people could kind of see through it, that it just, you know, they should have really tried to get the downtown area and make it a true street race. But obviously shutting down downtown Miami for a weekend would be incredibly difficult. Borderline impossible, which is why it did not happen. But NASCAR, on the other hand, was at Darlington. And it was, guys, there's, I think we are at the point now where you can't actually complain about the product right now. The on-track product is just great. I mean, I don't see how you could want it to be better. Or complaints you have about the on-track product in terms of the racing. Yes, dirty air is still a thing. We know that. But it's less than it was before. I mean, it's still there, but it's less than it was before. But the biggest thing is that now that all the aero is underneath the car, they can race side by side. And this race just epitomized it. Darlington's one of the best tracks in NASCAR, and these guys are racing side by side. There was an incredible battle between Kyle Busch and Joey Logano early on in the race. You can see just how close they were, how Kyle was able to stay underneath them and not get loose, and just race each other. The side draft is still there, but it's just a little bit weaker, so it makes it to be a very even battle. And I think we're seeing just incredible racing along with a lot of parity. There's just not a dominant driver. It is not happening this season, and that's I think some people expected that, but usually year in, year out, there are either a dominant driver or two dominant drivers, whether it be, you know, the season where Hamlin and Harvick dominated, last season when Larson dominated, back in the day when, you know, Gibbs, you know, Truex and Kyle Busch would dominate, or when Jimmy Johnson and Jeff Gordon would dominate. You know, it would always be, or Jimmy Johnson and Denny Hamlin would there's always, you know, domination in a season. But this season so far, there's no domination. There just isn't. There's a lot of parity, a lot of different drivers running up front. I mean, we'll get to the results towards the end. It was a strategy call that kind of helped him finish in the top three. Justin Haley finished third, guys. Okay, at Darlington. That stuff would not happen with Gen 6. It just wouldn't. I mean, you can argue it all you want. It wouldn't happen. So I have no complaints or things I want to talk about, really, because it's just, you know, a really good race. I was able to sit at my desk and essentially for the entirety of the F1 race. So I had the NASCAR race on my second monitor and I was paying attention to it. 10 out of 10. I personally cannot see where you have an issue with that race in terms of the on-track product. Now, I do want to talk about, like I have been talking about over the course of the season, This race did last, I think it was, a race official time was around 3 hours and 20 minutes, which is not too long. It's not as long as like last week, which was 3 hours and 49 minutes or whatever it was. But there is an issue with the stages that now it's not going to get solved this season, obviously, and probably not going to get solved next season. But under the new TV deal in 2024, there has to be a change with the stages. Now, there just is no reason to throw a caution anymore. There isn't. The reason why we threw cautions for stages, or the reason stages were even implemented in the first place back in 2017, was because the race car and the racing, there weren't enough natural cautions. There were phantom debris cautions that NASCAR would throw out, and there were no spins, no wrecks, and the racing would get boring, and then the fans would complain, and so NASCAR tried to manufacture the racing, get a bunch of restarts to make the racing closer and better. That was the whole point of stage racing. Then they went with the low horsepower package to coincide with that stage racing, or the restarts with the stage racing, because they wanted it closer together, because the car just sucked. It was horrible. But now we are back to where we were before that wretched and horrible time, where there is a very, very good race car that we have. And the drivers love it, and the fans love it. And you are having natural cautions. You don't need to throw phantom debris cautions, because drivers are bringing out, on average, 10 cautions a race right now on their own, just with wrecks and spins, because this car is brutally difficult to drive. And so that is bringing out all the cautions you need for your commercial breaks, for you to go to the bathroom, to get your snacks, whatever it may be. And so when you then have these stage cautions, I kept track of it, because I went and took a shower, and I came back at the end of stage 2. It was 15 minutes long. You're telling me by the time the stage ends to the time it restarts, it takes 15 minutes for commercial breaks, and for a driver to be interviewed, and for the pit stops to take place, I repeat, a caution where nothing of any wreck or incident happened. It is just because the stage ended. That is essentially 20 to 30 minutes per race that is just unnecessary, because you are now having the natural cautions that you weren't having, which then it made you, as NASCAR, implement the cautions under stages to interview drivers and to give people a break and give commercials the time that you need for commercials. Now there's just way too many commercials, because now we're having 10 cautions a race, and every caution they go to commercial, and then you also have the stage breaks, which adds another 5 minutes of commercials, and it's stop and start and stop and start, and the race can't flow. The race just simply cannot flow anymore. And so again, this is a new problem. It is a good problem to have. It's better than the problem that they had with the Gen 6 car. It's a good problem to have, but it's as simple as can be. There just should not be a caution at the end of stages. It's just that simple. I can't be any more clear than that. Give the points, nothing changes, just don't throw the caution. Just let it run as it is. That needs to happen. It would also very much help with road course racing as well, because there will be, as we're seeing, plenty of cautions and plenty of natural wrecks for TV to get their commercials in, and for fans to go get snacks or concessions or go to the bathroom and such, just like it was not too long. I mean, we're not even literally 8-9 years ago, it was just like that. It's even 6 years ago, it was just like that. Stages came in 20. It's been 5 years, 4 or 5 years. I mean, it's not like we're going back to the 1990s. We're just going back to the way it should be, which is not these unnatural, weird yellows, and let the race flow. That will be something that I'm just going to keep an eye on throughout this entire season, and see if they will change it, because they should. There is no argument, honestly, against it, and I think I'm in the minority of wanting to shorten races, but I think I'm in the majority when it comes to saying let's not throw cautions during the stages anymore. It was fine and necessary last season when you didn't have cautions. It's not necessary anymore now. Gonna quickly touch on the race results. Actually, let's show the finish, because this is a debatable finish. Joey Logano versus William Byron. So there was an incident on the final restart where Logano said he got walled. Now, I don't think I have footage of it to show, but it wasn't a wall. It was they ran really tight off of 2, And Byron didn't give him a lot of room coming off of turn 2, but they are fighting for the lead. But Byron didn't wall him. My definition of walling someone is literally they are in the wall, and they're in the wall because you are on the other side of their door. So you're walling them. Okay, that's what putting someone in the wall is, or hitting them in a certain area of the corner where they have no chance to avoid the wall. I don't think that happened to Logano. Logano, they got ran tight. Let's be real. It was really tight off turn 2, but it's not like Logano got put in the wall. He didn't even get, slowed down enough to really lose the lead. They were still side by side, entering 3, I think. So that was his reasoning to then on not the final lap, but with 2 to go, as you could see here, just run him over. When I first watched this, I thought William Byron broke early from the overhead camera. I thought he just braked early for some reason, but no. Logano just on purpose, 100% hit him in the back, and it was actually nice to have Bill Elliott on the commentary for Fox, and even Bill was like, "Yeah, that's not a bump and run. That's more of a hit. That's a little bit more than a bump and run." And I think, as the majority of intelligent racing fans know, we know what a bump and run is. A bump and run is, you move them out of the way, but they don't hit the wall, they don't wreck, and then technically they could kind of just hit you again. This was a hit. This was I'm going to hit you, and you're going to go in the wall, and that's going to be that. And, well, it's debatable, to say the least. Logano would go on to win the race. Byron was not happy, called him an idiot after the race, but William Byron has that baby face, he's not going to do anything. We all know that. That's probably one of the reasons why Logano did it, because William Byron has that baby face. He's innocent, very nice guy, humble, really well raised. Great job to his mom and dad raising him. He's not going to do anything. He ain't going to go up to Logano and sucker punch him in the face. It just is not going to happen. Would Logano do that to Kevin Harvick? Yeah, no. Logano would not have done that to Kevin Harvick. I think we'd know the answer to that question, because Logano would have a bloody face after that. I mean, they have a history before. But William Byron's not going to do that, which is why Logano did that. Now, here's my opinion on it, guys. It's fine to me if Logano wants to do that. You can't tell someone how not to race or how to race or whatever. It's racing. I like that it happened because it brings a storyline in that, and it brings animosity, and we'll see what William Byron does in the future. And to be fair, everyone hates Logano anyways. There's no driver in the garage that likes Logano, and this is my main point. Joey Logano, as Byron said, he always races like this. Everyone knows he races like this. Everybody knows, including himself, that nobody likes him, and he doesn't care. And that's just how it is. Now, he's gotten into fights with Tony Stewart. He's gotten into fights with Kyle Busch. He's gotten into fights with Denny Hamlin. He's gotten into fights with Chase Elliott. It's not like he's gotten into fights with Kevin Harvick. Obviously, it's not unusual or uncommon for a driver to be mad at Joey Logano. And the point of the matter is, this is how Logano races. I personally, if I was racing against him, I'd hate his guts too. But if he just wants to be that way, if he doesn't want to have any friends in the garage area, and to a little bit of a larger extent, a lot of drivers in the garage area don't respect him. That's the problem. Chase Elliott will throw him into the wall because Chase Elliott doesn't respect Joey Logano. Denny Hamlin will turn Logano racing for a win because Denny Hamlin does not respect Joey Logano. And the same thing goes with Kevin Harvick, and on and on and on. There's no respect for him because Joey Logano carries a personality where he acts as a tough guy, but he's not tough. He can't back it up off the track. He can't. He's really talented, and he's a really smart, intelligent driver, and he's really aggressive. We see that on play tracks, but he cannot back that up off the track. It's the fake tough persona, which is why he doesn't have the respect. And a move like this, let's just say it was Martin Truex Jr. that William Byron ran tight up off the wall, and Martin Truex Jr. then caught back up. Martin Truex Jr. at the very most would give him a light tap, because Martin Truex Jr. is a very clean race car driver. Mark Martin would do the same thing. I'm not going to touch on anyone else. I can't say anyone else with conviction that they would do that. But I know for a fact, Martin Truex Jr., Mark Martin, those types of guys would be extremely clean and not wreck someone for a win. I think I could probably throw Matt Kenseth in there maybe too. They wouldn't do those things. Joey Logano does. And so it's just not a surprise. The thing is, Logano never even tried to pass Byron. He just got to him and he just hit him out the way. There was no, I'm going to try to pass you. It was just, I'm going to purposely stay behind you in the 3 and run you into the wall. Okay, but like I said, this doesn't really change anything. Logano's never going to have that respect in the garage area. Everyone's always going to hate him, and it's going to be whatever, you know? So it's like, if I was a driver, I would not want to be like that. I would want to at least have respect in the garage area. I would want to be respected. But yeah, that's my whole 2 cents on it. And again, I like those kind of things. I hope Logano will never change. So that's cool for me. I like different personalities. If everybody had the same personality and everyone raced the same, this wouldn't be any fun. So as a fan, I like it. I'm just saying, if I was in his position, don't be surprised or angry or upset when fans are, you know, insanely rude to you and drivers don't respect you. And more importantly, when you're trying to win a championship, my whole thing about this, if you're trying to win a championship, you can't have enemies, and Logano has a lot of enemies, and it just makes it a lot harder to win championships because no one will give you slack on track. And even if you are in position to win a championship, someone could literally take it away from you in one race. So it's the game you play, but be careful with it. This has been way too long of a race review, so I'm going to quickly run down the results. Tyler Reddick finishes in second. Yeah, I mean, what can I say about Tyler Reddick? He is doing an incredible job, and I hope he wins soon. Justin Haley, like I said, finished in third. Just incredible job. Kevin Harvick finishes in fourth, best run of the season for him. Chase Elliott finishes fifth with Bell, McDowell, Stenhouse, Austin Dillon. Austin Dillon is always somewhere around that top 10, I'm telling you. And Daniel Suarez rounding out your top 10. William Byron ends up finishing 13th after getting punted out of the lead with 2 to go. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you agree with me on anything or disagree? Or what do you think of the Logano and Byron incident? And anything that happened with your driver specifically that I probably didn't touch on, because I wanted to touch on larger topics at hand, obviously, in this video, and we're already way too long into it, so I'm gonna end it there. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you are new, comment down below, and yeah, if you want to support the channel directly, there's the Patreon, and now that weird thanks thing that you can do. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you're not already, and like I said, please everyone leave me alone on Thursday. Do not message me, do not DM me. I'm not uploading that day. Do not ask about my health. Do not ask about my well-being. I will tell you right now, I will be very unhealthy. I will be a mental wreck. It's going to be one of the worst days of my life. But if my football club right here, if my football club can go to our rivals right here and win at their stadium to secure Champions League football, nothing better. There's nothing. But until then, it's going to be the worst day of my life. All right? So just know that. Pray for me maybe. But don't reach out to me. Just pray for me. See you guys later. Peace out.